Hi, I'm Mark Rondo at IQ Pool and Billiards and IQ Pool School. Remember to hit my logo in the corner to subscribe to my channel and get other information as I put it out. And also like and share my videos to get the information out there for other people who might be interested. You can reach me here and at iqpoolschool.com and through email at mybilliardcoach@gmail.com. Thanks for stopping by and let's play pool. So today I'm going to be going over fractional aiming, and also known as the quartering. And what you're going to be doing with that is quartering out the cue ball into four quadrants and also the object ball into four quadrants. And I come up with a pretty cool name, this quartering system, and I call it my XYZ, examine your zone. And I think it's a great way to get yourself comfortable seeing the angles in relationship to the pool balls and the pool table, and see how you can make a round ball work with a rectangular playing surface. So this table is broken down into grid format, so you're really looking at, say, two squares. And each of those squares come to 90-degree angles, which are where your pockets are going to be sitting on the pool table. So if you're looking at a whole ball hit, then you're just going to be aiming straight down the line and hitting a center ball shot, and that's going to shoot straight into the pocket for you. Another quadrant coming off from whole ball hit is going to be a three-quarter ball hit, and that's when you're going to have three-quarters of the cue ball hitting three-quarters of the object ball. This is going to be roughly a 15-degree angle, and still hitting center ball. You're going to line your lines up, which I'll show you how to do that, and just shooting center on the cue ball, which is great because then if you need to do any kind of English, if somehow you come out of shape, not working with your center lines, or if you're on a real crazy table and you need to get around things, when you're shooting from center naturally, and if you need to put a little English on it, it's easy for you to determine, where your high or your low or your left or right is going to be. So then we would move on to a half ball hit, which is going to be about a 30-degree angle, and you're going to be aiming the center half of the cue ball to the outside edge of the object ball, and you're going to be splitting the cue ball and object ball in half that way, and that's going to be giving you a half ball hit. And then another way is going to be the quarter ball hit, and this is going to be about a 45-degree angle. And this one, same thing, you're going to be lining up the quarter of the cue ball to the quarter edge of the object ball you're going to be playing. And again, you're just shooting center ball. When you get down on the cue ball, you should already be lined up with the correct aiming position to come down onto the cue ball naturally and be able to shoot center ball and put these balls in the pocket. So I'm going to start going over this with you now and show you how we can start really getting from one end of the table to the other relatively easily once we understand where these angles are on the table and how to recognize them as we move through this. But if you start using the angles and the center lines of the object ball to get yourself around the table, it'll be a lot better than using English because you'll just use the center ball hits with center ball angle action. Then if something's in your way or if you have to really do something fancy, then you can adjust your English accordingly. Here is a three-quarter ball hit, roughly a 15-degree angle. When aiming the three-quarter ball, you're going to aim the center of the cue ball through the opposite quarter edge of the object ball in the direction you want it to go. Half ball hit, roughly a 30-degree angle. And so you'd be aiming the center of the cue ball to the opposite edge of the object ball in whichever way you'd like it to go.
Here's a quarter ball hit or a roughly 45-degree angle. You can use the inside edge of your shaft to put to the outside edge of the object ball, which will help you find your quarter ball aiming point. With a quarter ball hit, you're aiming the center of the cue ball will not be touching the object ball view. So you can use the inside edge of your shaft in whichever direction you want to send the object ball to help you find that center point of where the cue ball center will be when it connects with the object ball. Here's another three-quarter ball hit, roughly 15-degree angle from the other side of the box now. Here's another three-quarter ball view from half table. Here's a half ball hit, 30-degree angle. Here's a quarter ball view, 45-degree angle. Here's a 3/4 ball hit at half table. Here's a half ball view, 30-degree angle. Here's a quarter ball view, roughly 45-degree angle from half table. Here's a full table, 3/4 ball hit bank shot. Here's a full table half ball hit bank. Here's a 3/4 ball full table length bank opposite pocket. Here's a 3/4 ball bank shot. Here's a half ball bank shot. Here's a 1/4 ball bank shot.